Hi, I'm CJ,
And I'm Morgan.
and we're going to do an introduction on World War I. The first thing you need to know is the first war in the 20th century was caused by an act of terrorism.
On the 28th of June, 1914, Dragutin Dmitrievic, the leader of the secret Black Hand Society, a nationalist movement favoring a union between Bosnia-Herzegovina and Serbia, sent out 3 men to assassinate Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. The one who succeeded in doing so was Serbian national WWI.
After finding out Serbia was behind the assassination, Austria-Hungary drew up an ultimatum in which Serbia was blamed for the attack. Serbia agreed to some of the demands, but not all, forcing Austria-Hungary to act. On the 28th of July, 1914, exactly 1 month after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, and World War I had officially begun.
When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, the allies of both countries would soon be brought into play, as well as their allies, and so on, in the form of a domino effect.
Originally, the Allies mainly consist of France, Russia, and Italy, whereas the Central consists mainly of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. Later, heavily involved countries were Japan and the United States of America.
The first country to follow the initial 2 into battle was Germany. Not believing Russia to mobilize, Germany backed Austria-Hungary in their declaration of war, only to have their beliefs proven incorrect as Russia began to mobilize for the reinforcement of Serbia. As this occurred, Germany declared war on Russia, and later France, who joined the Allies.
When Germany declared war on France, the march through Belgium caused an uproar and declaration of war from Britain. As an ally of Britain, the next country to join on the declaration of war against Germany was Japan. After that, the Ottoman Empire joined the Central Powers to help Germany in the fight against Russia. In retaliation, Russia declared war on the Ottoman Empire. As an ally of Russia, Britain and France also declared war on the Ottoman Empire, and war was in full swing. Now every European power was at war.
With the war in full swing, attacks continued on all fronts. The United States began protesting the German U-boat campaign after the passenger ship, the Lusitania, had been sunk. As a result of innocent American civilians being killed, the United States started to consider joining the war, but refrained. Next to enter the war was Italy on the side of the Allies, shortly followed by Romania.
In the midst of fighting, World War I was the first time that trench warfare came into play. It was the way to shield soldiers while they were in the midst of an attack. It also became used as a place for soldiers to sleep in between attacks. Now in the trenches, it was pretty negative. It was awfully wet, and there was a lot of decomposing bodies due to the fact they didn't have time to get rid of them. There was also lots of waste. During the time of war, if you're spending most of your day in a trench, you have to use your bodily functions. There wasn't any lack of food, because most of them, home was only 80 to 50 miles away. So most of them, if they did die and it wasn't due to a war situation, it was because disease was running rampant.
Another new technology was barbed wire, used around and near the trenches for added protection from invaders and to keep unwanted visitors out of an area. Later, barbed wire was used for farming to keep livestock in a certain area or to mark off territory and boundaries of property. Another new technology was submarines. They were being utilized as more than exploratory ships at this point, but rather for attacks underwater.
Gas masks, machine guns, tanks. These new technologies and many more gave soldiers the ability to fight differently, ultimately killing people at a rate unseen before. By the end of the 4th year of fighting World War I, approximately 10 million troops had lost their lives. These technologies led to new ways of fighting wars and would continue to develop and progress as time moved forward.
It has been said that even before the United States joined World War I, they were providing under-the-table aid to the Allies. But it wasn't until German U-boats sank the passenger ship, the Lusitania, carrying innocent American civilians, that the United States decided that it was time to break their neutrality and fight on the side of the Allies.
The war officially ended on November 11, 1918 at 11:11 a.m. due to an armistice that was signed designating the exact time of the end of war. It wasn't until the 28th of June 1919, however, the treaty was developed to deal with the fallout of World War I.
This treaty was the Treaty of Versailles. It was signed in Versailles, France, and declared how the damages of the war would be taken care of. It was decided that Germany was to blame for the entire war and would therefore pay reparations to cover the debt that the countries involved in the war were now facing, as well as give up several of their territories to other countries. The combination of the economical hardship brought on by having to pay billions of dollars to fix the damages and debts of World War I, the physical hardship of losing land to other countries after the war, and the psychological hardship of being blamed for the Great War would eventually push Germany to start World War II 20 years down the